Okay, in last class we learned only one thing, that is about vector, right? About vector, the first point is it is 1D array. What about this? It is 1D array, one dimensional array. And second point is it contains items or elements or values, whatever we can call it as. Some people used to say value as element or value as item. So anything, those items or elements or values should be same data type. So it should contain same data type items, or it's also called as elements, or it's also called as values. That is the second point what you have to learn about the vector. Now, in order to create the vector, for creating the vector, we have two syntaxes we have it. One syntax is called as C, and that to small c we have to write it. MS Word is automatically correcting actually. Small c. Then second is available vector. And whenever we are defining the with vector, we have to define here the data type is what we have to define. And what is the length of the vector you want to create it, that also you have to define something like this example. That is the second point what we have chance to learn about it. Third point, we also can provide titles. Titles we can provide it by taking help of the function called as names function. We have it, we can provide it. That is the third one. Fourth one, we can read the elements by using index method. Using index method. For example, whatever we have the vector is object is VEC, let us assume. Then if we want first element, we have to say as what? 1. If we want, let us say, first to third element you want 8, then you have to say 1 east 3. Like this also you can write it. That means what? First element, second element, third element you are going to get it. So that's how we can read the elements of the vector. If you want to update the elements of the vector, yes, you can update it. Same method for reading whatever we did it, that only have to use it. That one assign with some value, something called as 20. That means in the position 1, whatever value available, it replaces with the 20. And if you want to delete that one, we have to say here, what is this? Vector, again same reading method we have to use it, and we have to say it is NA. It is going to override it, or it's going to remove. It is going to be removed. That's how we are going to delete the object. Now, if you want to know the length of the vector, you can use length. Length function you can use, and you can see the length of the function. You can see it. And yesterday we also learned about some constants in R. What we learned in the constants in R? We have the function called as, not the function, constant called as, what is this? Letters. And if we say letters, and we are writing here 1 east 5, that is going to generate from where to where? 1 to 5 alphabets, and in the capital letters it is going to generate it. We have the capital letters and small letters, two things are available. That is the one thing. Second is available, that is called as small letters, that is 1:5. And next we have here standard mathematical value, that is called as pi. And we have here months names. We have here one thing that is called as what? Months dot names. It is going to give you full name of the month, January to December. And we have here months dot ABB, abbreviations, JAN, FEB, MER, like that constants we have here. So this is what we learned yesterday. Today we need to focus on next one, that is called as, what is this? Matrix. We have to focus on one thing, what is this? Matrix. Right, let us go and try to see the matrix. Comparatively the vector, one difference is here, it is 2D array. What is this? Matrix is a 2D array. So here rows as well as columns also available. In case of vector, only rows, no column. That too one row only actually. not n number of rows, only one row. But in case of matrix, n number of rows may be there, n number of columns will be there. That is what the first point what you have to note it down. 2D array. 2D array. And inside this one, you can take only one data type, only how to take it again. All the elements or all the items should be belongs to single data type. Only one data type, elements or items you have to take it. We should not mix it. We should not mix it. One data type, items only you have to take it. Okay, and to create this matrix, we have the function. The function is called as matrix. Is the function is available, you have to use it. And throughout the most of the cases it is small case only, sir. M by automatically it's correcting, actually it is small m only. All are small. Okay, let us go and try to do those things. I am trying to open your matrix notes. Right. The first point, matrix is a 2D array of data elements. They contain elements of the same atomic types. That is important. Though we can create a matrix containing only characters or only logical values, they are not much use. We studied matrix from our normal school days, right? In the school days onwards, if I see the matrix, anywhere did you see matrix M is equal to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, R, Y, Z, like that we are seeing it? No, mostly no, right? String values we stored. We stored only numerics, right? We didn't store the string values. But you can store string values, but it's no use. No use for our mathematical calculations, our scientific calculations. Even matrix is one big subject. We have one software that is called as MATLAB. MATLAB is one software which is purely, before our R and Python coming into the picture, that MATLAB is the one which is useful for the statistical calculations. That purely works based on the matrix. That's it. That much of great concept is the matrix. Now, so that means I can store inside the matrix numbers, strings, booleans. However, strings and booleans has no use. That is the reason in our real life we are going to see matrix contains the items of numbers. Now we use matrix containing the numeric elements to be used in mathematical calculations. Now a matrix is created using matrix function. The basic syntax of creating matrix in R is matrix. Then you have to write here 5 parameters we have it. First parameter is data. With what data I want to organize the matrix. Second parameter is number of rows. How many rows you want it. Next is available number of columns. And how you want to organize it, by row or by column. And dimension names. If you want to provide the titles. Yesterday we used names function, right? The same job is going to do here by dim names. That's what the 5 arguments what we have it. If you want to see the help of that one, you can go to the as usual RStudio. RStudio, it is opening. Then go and try to clear this. I'm also clearing this. Now just I am trying to write here matrix. Okay, then go and try to click on the run. Okay, now what we got? Matrix is coming from what package? Base package. Matrix creates matrix from the given set of values. As dot matrix attempts to run turn its arguments into matrix. So to convert one data type into other data type, we have the as dot star functions, right? That's what it is. To confirm it is matrix or not, we have what is this? Is dot matrix. And data, number of rows, number of columns by row and dimension. This is a standard syntax. Now we are going to follow here, and we are going to create here bottom. If you observe it, what is this here? I have here matrix with what values they are organizing. See 1 2 3 11 12 30. Total how many items we have? 6 items. And their number of rows, how many they want it? 2 rows they want it. How many columns they want it? 3 columns. Always observe this multiplication is equal to the number of items. Number of rows into number of columns is equal to the number of items. 2 into 3 is how much? 6. 6 items only we have it. And by row is equal to what? True. So it's going to organize in a row way. And dimension names is equal to, it's giving row 1, row 2, because 2 rows are available. And column names are available, column 1, column 2, column 3 it's taking. If you want to create that one, simply copy this and we are trying to paste here. Just try to execute it, run it. So it's created the matrix. If you want to see this matrix output, you want to see it, let us go and try to see the output. I am trying to run it. Wow, beautiful. See here, you need to notice what you mean by row is equal to true. How it is organized? 1, then 2 is stomped where? First it is filling what? Row wise it is filling. Once first row is completed, then it is moving to what? Second row. For example, if I given here by row is equal to false, I am giving. Then let me execute these statements. Now what happened? It's coming, it's filling the values column wise. 1, 2, then what is this? 3, 11, 12, 13. So this argument is useful to decide row wise you want to fill it or columns wise you want to fill it. Okay, excellent question. If I am not giving here by row element at all, then what is the default behavior? Let us click on the run and you tell me what is the default behavior? False. What is the default behavior? False. Even you can observe in the syntax itself, whatever in the syntax it is defined, that is the default value actually. What is the value it is available by default? False. So default is what? False. Sorry? That element is not mandatory. If something value is defined here, that element is not mandatory. Suppose if you take here, as it is we are taking this one, and we are trying to say as this is equal to, we are mapping to the m, we are mapping it, and I am running this one. Now click on the run. Now still matrix is created. If you want, you can go and you can see m, but this matrix is created with what values? Nothing. What values you taken? NA is the value. How many rows? 1 row. How many columns? 1 column. By row is equal to false. Dimension names is equal to null. Nothing is available here. Are you getting my point? Suppose in our syntax only data is available, equal to NA is not there. That means what? Data is a mandatory argument. We have to surely provide the input. If data is equal to NA is available means what? If you are not providing any argument, system will take that as a NA. Are you getting my point? That's what the difference between mandatory argument and optional argument. Now these all arguments are called as optional arguments.
And if we mention enclosure, I think we don't have to mention encall, right?
Yeah, that's right. Let us see one by one parameter. Let us start our journey with first one. I am trying to start it. So let us keep that one as it is. I am putting like this. Let us say I am putting here the matrix as, let us say M80. I am putting it the matrix name. Then first I am trying with the data argument. I am taking it, nothing else. Only with one argument I want experiment. In this argument I am trying to take the values. The values are called as, let us say 1:9. 1:9 means how many values we are passing here? 9 values I am trying to pass it. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Let us try to run the statement. It is ran. Now I want to understand how it is filled the values. It is by row it is filled or by column it is filled. That is the one question. Second, how many rows, how many columns I got here? How many rows, how many columns? I didn't commented about the number of rows, number of columns also. That's what other you have to tell it now. What way system it's created? By default, what way it's created? Let us go and try to verify it. What is created? By column. By columns. That means only what we got? One column we got it. Because by default this parameter is what? By row is equal false means what? It has to organize as a column. So it's organizing as a column only. Only one column it's created. All the values it is organized as a one column. And how many rows we got here? 9 rows. 9 rows we got it, and one column we got it. Wow, beautiful. Let us experiment with the second argument. What is the second argument? Number of rows, right? What is second argument? Number of rows. So I am giving here number of rows is equal to, let us say 3 I am giving. So I said to the system what I said, hey, I want 3 rows, I want it. 3 rows I want it. Now let me go and try to run this one and see what will happen. Now we can observe what happened. 3 rows you want, you fixed it. Now how many columns I have to do it? I said already one formula. What is the formula I said? Number of items is equal to number of rows into number of columns. I said it. In this one, you know two things you know, right? Number of items, how many I given? 9 is equal to how many rows I given? 3. What if I multiply? Then I will get the number of columns. What is the number of columns I want to calculate now, right? Our system is going to calculate 3 if you are sending this side. 9 by 3 becomes what? 3. So number of columns is equal to what? 3. Wow, beautiful. System also will calculate in that way only, and it's going to give you three rows you decided, so 3 columns only have to go. Now problem. For example, I am giving here 2. I am giving here 2. What happens now? 9 by 2 is equal to what? Float value 4.5. 4.5, how it will organize it? Now, is it going to throw the error, or it is going to take only 2 rows and whatever maximum values if you can accommodate with the maximum number of columns, that is going to take it. I mean to say 2 into 3 is how much? 8 values. Sorry, 6 values, right? 2, 3 is 6. 2 into 4 is how much? 8 values. 2 into 5 is how much? 10 values means I don't have 10 values here. 2 into 4 is how much? 8 values I have it. One number is wasted, right? So what way it is going to take it? It's going to take 10 values and it's going to fill the one value with the null, or it is going to take the 8 values and it's going to ignore one value. Let us see that kind of behavior now. Let us go and try to run this one. Now what happened here? What way system taken? What way taken? Cycled. What happened? It is cycled. Once 1:9 is completed, I want one more value. So it will go for what? Again from the beginning, it will try to fill it. That's how system is behaving. Okay, now you understand here number of rows, how it is doing it. Suppose you decided here number of columns also you are deciding here. But what you are doing is by mistake you are doing here number of columns is equal to 1. 2 into 1 is how much? 2 only. But how many elements we have here? 9 elements I have it, but you define only 2 elements I want it. Then how system is going to take it? Are you getting my point? Now what way happens is, you can observe now what happened. It ignores remaining all elements. It takes only 2 elements. Suppose if you fill here, let us say
4 I am filling it. Then what will happen? 8 elements it is going to use it. But one item is ignored. Suppose we are putting here, let's say 10 we are putting it. Then click on here, run. What will happen? Then what happened? It's cycled and it's given the 10. Whatever you are giving the number, according to that it is going to work using the cycle method. Okay, now we understand the correct proper values are what? 3 by 3 is the correct proper values in a given scenario. 9 elements are going to fit best. 9 elements are going to fit best with 3 by 3 matrix. That's what we have to provide. 3 and 3 you have to provide it. Okay, now let us go for one more parameter. Now we are aware of number of rows as well as number of columns. We are aware of it. What is the next one? By row. By row, by default it is filling what way? Column wise it is filling. I want fill, row wise I want to fill it. Then I am putting here by row is equal to true, I am putting it. Then let me execute this one. We are seeing what? By row it is filling 1, 2, 3, then second row 4, 5, 6, then third row 7, 8, 9. Previously it is to fill, column wise it is to fill. Okay, fourth parameter also we are clear. Next fifth parameter is what? Dim names. That's what we have here. Dim names. That is dimension names. Here row is a one dimension, column is a one dimension. For row dimension, what name you have to provide? For column dimension, what name you have to provide? That you have to define. So we are writing here dim names. Dim names is equal to. Now see the syntax here carefully. Yeah, here itself you can observe. Row 1, row 2. Next what? Column 1, column 2, column 3 they given here. Here 6 elements only available. 2 into 3 is what? 6. So here my case what you have to do? 3 rows, 3 columns. 3 rows are available and 3 columns are available. So you have to write here list is a one function actually. I have to talk about that later. As of now remember list is a one function. List is a one function. Now first whatever you are going to define that is going to be rows. Second we are going to define what? Columns. Generally we are writing also row by columns only you are going to write it, right? Rows by columns only are going to write it. Okay, now C is a vector of how many rows you want it? Row 1. Let us say first row I am giving it. Next I am going to give here one more row that is called as row 2. Then I am going to provide here one more row that is called as row 3. So 3 rows names I given. Next I have to provide here one more thing, comma, then C again, then what is this? Column 1. Sorry, column 1. Then what I have to provide? Column 2. Then what I have to provide? This one you can write in the next line also, no problem. I am writing in the next line. Okay, next we are write here column 3. So you provided all the things. How many brackets opened here? So this is the bracket 1. Yeah, this is the matrix. Perfect. Now let me go and try to do this one. Let me go and try to execute this one. I am trying to run it. We are seeing what? Row 1, row 2, row 3. This is what? Column 1, column 2, column 3. Properly we got these values or not? Yes. Now we are good to understand the matrix 5 arguments. One is what? Data. Second is what? Number of rows, n row, n call. Then by row. Next what? Dimension names. Dimension names. Sorry?
For example, row 1, row 2 is there.
Yes.
So as per our we will assign values also. For example, row 1, 2, 3, right? So we will assign 4, 5, 6.
You want me to give the name as 4, 5, 6?
Row 1.
That's what, like this?
Yes.
You can be whatever you are writing, system will take that row. That's it. That is a name.
It's a name.
No,
That's
sir, not, I'm asking not row.
uh-huh.
But it is showing row 1 in values 1 to 3, right?
Right.
So instead of 1 to 3, row 1, 4, 5, 6 also will lessen. It is possible to lessen.
Oh, okay. I understand now. So you are asking about row one. It is taking 1, 2, 3, but I want 4, 5, 6. I want it. Then what I need to do, right? So supply the values in that same order. Meaning you have to write here C of, let us write here 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9. Let's say you are supplying in that way. Now we go and try to observe here what way it's taken. This is what we are expecting exact result. You cannot use sequence like 1:9. You cannot use it in this case. What you want, particular output you want it in the particular order only. You have to supply the input. Okay, right. That's how it is going to work. Okay, we are good with the creating the matrix. We are good with. So we are clear about the second point. Third point, a matrix is created using matrix function, and we know the syntax also. We are aware of it. And observe the below examples. We create here what? One matrix, but also we provide here titles we provided. That's it. This is what we did. First point is completed. Next point, read the elements of the matrix. Read the elements of the matrix. For better understanding of the reading, what I will do first is, let me remove this argument. I removed it. Now I am trying to execute this. Now like this we got it. And this also I am trying to change as we want 1:9. We want 1:9. Okay, let us go and try to execute it. Now, can you read the first element? That is nothing but numeric 1 I want, sir. What to do? Numeric 1 I want it. What to do? Matrix. Then you have to use the square bracket. Then what is the 1 means what? What is available here? Like this I have tried. That is what? 1 dot. 1, sorry, comma. Then column is what you have to write? Comma 1. Already comma is available, right? So again we are writing 1. That's it. This indexes, yes or no? There is a row index, column index. First you have to write the row index, comma, column index you have to write it. So what is syntax? You have to write it. We have to write the row index is what? Comma. We have to write the column index is what? We have to write it. If you are writing like that, you are going to get it. So now if you go and try to observe this one, let us say I am trying to run it. Wow, beautiful. We got what? 1. Now really if you understand my point, I want the 6. Tell me how to write it. What I have to write? 6 is available in which row? Second row. And column is what? Third. So if you go and try to run it, we are getting 6. Suppose now I want here not one value, I want here, let us say these 2 values, 1 comma 2 I want it. Tell me what to write. First it is available in the first row, right? Yes. And now 2 columns I want here, not 1 column. If you want 2 columns, then we have to write here 1:2. Then if you run this one, we are getting what are getting? 1. If really you understand, I want, let us say 1 and 4 I want it. What I want? 1 and 4. Tell me what I have to write here. 1:2. That's right. Comma 1. Excellent. Now let us go and try to run this. We are seeing here 1 and 4. Now I want here 1, 2, 4, 5 I want. 1, 2, 4, 5. Tell me how to write it. 1:2, comma 1:2 again. So now if you try to run it, we are able to see 1, 2, 4, 5. Suppose I want in the bottom layer like 5, 6, 8, 9. 5, 6, 8, 9. Tell me how to write it. 5, 6, 8, 9. So 5, 6 means it is 2, second row. Then also we want here third row. And what are the columns? Second column. And what is the column? Third column, right? So we are running it.
we are going to get 5, 6, 8, 9. Wow, beautiful. Now you know how to read it, yes or no? If I given any one matrix and I'm asking any particular element, then you know how to read it. Now I'll ask you one question, something different. I want now 1, 4 and I want now 3, 6. What I want? 1, 4 and 3, 6 I want. One east if you are writing means a continuous. If you are writing the east, it is what? Continuous. Excellent answer, sir. C of. So that's how we have to write here. So you have to write here matrix. Whenever you want here discrete values. Discrete means what? Not continuous. Discrete means what? Not continuous. Whenever you want the discrete, then we have to supply the parameters using the vector. So what I want here? 1 and 4, 3 and 6, right? 1 and 4 and 3 and 6 means which rows you want it? First row and second row. This one I think you can give the continuous values, right? Because first row and second row. Yes or no? First row and second row you want it. But columns, what do you want it? First column and third column you want it. First column and third column you want it. Now if you run this one, we are seeing here 1, 4 and 3, 6. Are you getting my point? Yes. So if it is a continuous one, you can use the east, you can use it. If it's not continuous one, you have to use again pass a vector inside the matrix selection. Wow, vector is useful here to read the matrix, right? Yes. Like that, we are seeing here reading elements from matrix. Here matrix name I given as O. O1 comma 3 means what? O comma 3 means here what is this? Just written the comma, left side nothing you specified. Nothing you specified means what? Entire row, complete row. Complete all the rows with respect to the third column. This is what? First row, complete all columns. Like that we have it. So all the examples are covered here. Next one is matrix arithmetic calculations. You know, plus, minus, into, division, those things, right? Those things we are trying to do it. Let us try it. First I am trying to create here two matrix. I am trying to create it. Let me take this as it is. I am saying the name as, for our understanding purpose, it is a matrix 1, that as a P I am trying to take it. P is a one matrix with 1 to n and the values as, let us say, 1:9. Now I am trying to take one more matrix that is called as Q is a matrix. This is a Q is a one matrix, we are trying to take it. And matrix, this is, let us take the elements 10 to up to what? 90. Now we are trying to close this bracket. Let us go and try to execute these two things so that we are going to get here. What is the issue? (10:19).
Second value 10 values should be 18.
It should be 18. 10 and 18 both are included means 9, right? That's how it is. So now if you want to see the values of the P, let us go and try to see the values of the P. We got it. If you want to see the values of the Q, I want to see the values of the Q. Now we know P values and Q values, we are aware of it. I want to do here plus, minus, division, multiplication, I want to do it. You know, corresponding positions will be summed. Means what? First position of the P, first row, first column of the P will be summed with first row, first column of the Q. Corresponding positions will be operated. So in that case, if I go and try to write here P plus Q, then try to run it, we can observe, wow, beautiful. What is the first position one here? First row, first column, 1. What is the first row, first column here?
10 plus 1 is how much? 11. That's what we got here. Similarly, you can do one more thing. What is this? P minus Q. Now we are going to get all negative values and equal values because sequence we generated, right? Right. Now if you do the into, we are going to get here corresponding things are going to get it, right? Into we are doing 1 into 10, that is 10, like that we got it. If you want to do that division, you can go and you can do that division also, you can do it. So whatever arithmetic operation you want to do it, you can do it, but it's going to do corresponding positions, that is important. Yeah.
In case of matrix, we'll just go by multiplication of matrix. If it is a 3 by 3, we'll just take the row and we'll just do it with the column, right? In case of schooling, that's how we are.
In case of
Schooling, first row and column, second row and column. In case of multiplication of matrices.
In school, how we are doing in matrix, how to solve that problem? First row, then first column of
Here
decided
correspondence,
column.
right? Here the things are just multiplying by the corresponding elements. In this case of.
Okay, yeah.
In that point of view, we just do the calculation with row 1, column 1, and row 2, column 2, row 3, and column 3.
Your transpose and you have to calculate them. You want, let us say, first row here should be calculated with the first column over there, right? Directly it won't do it, but what you can do is Q matrix, you can transpose it. Transpose means what? Rows and columns will be reversed. Then you do it. For that we have the transpose one function is available. Yeah, it itself is there. But this T of B I am writing it is going to transpose it. Once you transposed, whatever you got the result, that result you have to use it. If you want to do like that. Okay, time being, we know now arithmetic operators, whatever we have it. We construct the transpose of a matrix by interchanging its columns and rows with a function called as T. For example, whatever we have the Q, we know the Q values, right? We know the Q values is like that. We are writing same thing as a T of Q, I am writing it. Just I am writing the T function. Then we are seeing here, what we are seeing is reversed or not? 10, 13, 16 we got it. 10, 13, 16 is previously acting as a first column. Now 10, 13, 16 is acting as a first row. That's how it is transposed. Now we understand transpose. Next is what? C bind is useful to combine columns. C bind is useful to combine columns. So we have here two matrices, we have it. The two matrices we are trying to combine it. Why can't we can combine our matrices? Already we have it, right? C bind, I am writing it. Then what are the two matrices we have here? P and Q we have it. Let us try to run this one. Wow, what we got now? In first matrix, this is what we have, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In second matrix, we have this one. So columns are came and attached here. Previously, how many columns we have? 3 columns. Now it becoming what? 6 columns. Number of rows are not changed. In C bind, number of rows are not going to change. Columns only will be increases. Now, in place of the C bind, I am saying as R bind. R bind means what? Rows bind. Let us go try to run this one. What we got? Number of columns are fixed. Number of rows are increased. Now, previously we have 3 plus 3. Now it is 6. Right? So that's what the C bind means, combining the column wise. Combining two matrices columns wise. R bind means combining the two matrices rows wise. Are you getting my point? That's what the C bind and R bind. We can combine the rows of two matrices by using R bind. Next is available. We can deconstruct a matrix by applying the C function, which combines all column vectors into one, or converting a matrix into what? Vector. What is the meaning? For example, simply I am writing C of P, I am writing it. P is a matrix, we are aware of it, right? And P values also, if you want to see it, let us say I am running the P, I am running it. This is what the P. Any one object I want to run it, you have to select that one, you have to click on run. That object only will be running. Now I want to see the C of P, I am trying to see it. Now what we got here? Vector, right? So matrix you can convert into the vector. Vector also you can convert into the matrix, right? Previously asked requirements are I want 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So what I did over there, I passed vector as input. So vector can be converted into the matrix, matrix can be converted into the vector. Both are possible. Both are possible. Okay, that's what we learned here. Next, refer the more information from these two blocks and we try to get it. Let me summarize what you learned now. Yes, what you learned? Yes, matrix syntax we learned first. What are the things we have here? First is what? Data. Data by default it is a mandatory argument, it is a optional argument. It is a mandatory argument or optional argument?
Optional.
Optional argument. By default is going to take what? NA. And second is what? N row. Number of rows how many? By default what is going to take it? 1. N call. By default is going to take what? 1. Next what? By row. By row is equal to what? False. Now, what is this? Dim. Names is equal to what? By default what is going to take it? No, by default. No, what is the value of the dim names by default one? Syntax just now we observed, right? See what is the by default value we have in the help document? Null. Null means system will take the indexes. First we have to specify what? Null. Null means system by default will take the indexes. So that is what we have to write here, null. So anything syntax we have to understand very confidently, sir. That is possible by using the help document. Any syntax you forgot also nothing to worry. Immediately you can type the help of matrix, you'll get the syntax in the down. You can see that one, we can understand it. Even more information you want it, we do have here. What is this? What do you mean by data? What do you mean by n row? What do you mean by n column? Explanation is available or not? Here a lot of functions are available. Even I too don't know so many functions I don't know. Syntaxes. But I know how to work with them by reading the help document. Are you getting my point, right? You need not remember all the things. We have very small brain. Don't pressurize it. Okay. So we are keep on working. Automatically, some of the things will be feeded. Don't try to remember the things. Don't by heart. By heart is not at all required. Are you getting my point? Keep on practice it. Automatically, some of the things will be feeded. Okay. And if you want something new, you can go for the help and you can see the syntax. Got it? Right. Now, we understand here what is mean by syntax, we understand it. Syntax we understand. Next what we learned? How to read the elements, we learned about it. Can I update it? Yes, how to update it? If write here P1 of 1 assignment 50 I am taking, then what will happen? 1 will be replaced with 50. Can I delete it? Yes. P1 comma 1 is the NA. I can do whatever I want it. I can do whatever I want it. Okay. Now let us move on to the next one. I think I'm good with this. And next one is what? We have here, we learned one more thing. What is that? Arithmetic operators, right? Arithmetic operators we learned about. Next what? C bind we learned. Next what? R bind we learned. Next what? Transpose function we learned. Anything else you learned apart from this? We know how to convert matrix into vector. That also possible by using C function. Matrix you can convert into the vector. That's what we learned now. Let us move on to the next one that is called as factors. Next one that is called as what? Factors. You tell me one point. Discrete, continuous. Two words are available. One is called as discrete, second is called as continuous. I want to talk about these two words first. One is called as discrete, second is called as continuous. I want to talk about these two things first. Tell me, if I given something, let's say I am giving a gender column. In the gender column, I have the values as my gender is male. This guy gender also male. This guy gender also male. This guy's gender also male. That guy's gender also male. I am writing here, and she has someone female. She has someone female, and he has someone it is male. Like that I written here. Now whatever values available in the gender column, are discrete or continuous. Any string value, remember it is a discrete. Wow, beautiful definition. Any string value is a discrete. Means if I given the string values, can you write one line chart? Can you write a line chart using string values? You cannot write. Ram name, Nancy name, names are given. Can you write a line chart? No. Those all things are called as discrete. And in the discrete, let us say one more column I am taking here, that is called as names column I am taking. It is Ram, okay, it is Nancy, let us say Reddy, and it is taken as again male, blah blah blah. We have some names we are taking, but these names are here. It is discrete, I agree. Discrete, I agree, but it is limited values, right? What are the values possible, sir? Here, only two. What are the values possible? Only two. But this also discrete only. However, how many values possible? N number of values. N number of values in our word called as infinity. What is this? Infinity of values are possible here. N number of values are possible. If limited values are available, those things are called as factors. Wow, beautiful. So, if I want to tell one given column is a factor, then two rules. Number one rule is what? It should be discrete. Number two rule is what? It should be limited values, not the two. It should be limited values. In that example, gender means male and female only possible. That is what two values. If I take here one more example, for example, we are taking here months, names. What is that? Months names. What are the months names are possible, sir? Jan, Feb, March, so on, up to what? December. Total how many possible? Only 12. This is also limited or not? So can I call this as a factor? Yes, factor. And is it discrete or not? It is a discrete. Using that one, you cannot draw the line chart. Next, I'll take one more example. Week, names. It is a discrete or not? And it is limited values or not? Yes. Monday, Tuesday, up to so on. What is that? Sunday. And blood group. Blood groups. Blood groups also what, sir? It is limited or not? It is not. It is a limited. A, B, then AB, then O. Like that, some limited groups are available. Like that, any one column, the values, you can say fixedly, okay, in this column, the number of values are this many only possible. Like that, we are able to define it. Then that is called as factor. Then that is called as factor. But system has no idea about this common sense, right? Like gender means the string data type. You have the common sense. Gender means male and female only possible. You know that one. System don't know, right? The reason system by default thinks each string value as a factor. Our system, how it will recognize each string value as a factor, it will recognize it. We have the option to set, if it is not a factor one, how to set as a normal string. We have the option. We'll see that part. But by default, any string system will treat as a factor. Okay. Now we have understanding what you mean by discrete, what you mean by continuous. Can you tell me some continuous things also? Our salary is a continuous. I have the something called as 100 rupees is a salary. He has a salary as 200 rupees. He has a salary of 150 rupees. He has a salary of something else. So it's continuously go on it. We cannot tell this many values only possible. Infinite values are possible. And these all values you give to me, I can put the points, I can put, and I can draw the one graph also. Can I draw one graph or not? Yes. And the scale, I can put the points, I can draw the graph. Continuous. Most of the numeric values are what? Continuous. However, here also one condition apply. Some of the numeric things may be factors. Possible? Suppose we are writing 1, 0. Suppose male and female, we are not going to denote with the M and F. We are denoting with the male means 1, female means 0, we are writing it. Then what will happen? It is a numeric data type. However, the values are what? Limited, those are 1 and 0, so you can take as a factor. So like that things also you have to consider it. Something which is limited, it's called as what? Factor. That's what I want to give the point here. The term factor refers to a statistical data type used to store categorical variables. Categorical variables. Gender is a categorical variable. Variable means you know, right? What is variable? Column name is called as variable here. Column name is called as variable here. And row is called as observation here. Technical terms. Let us go and try to see here. For example, I am writing here empty cars. What is this? Empty cars is a by default data frame. Let us run it. We got this, what the data we got it. Empty cars is a predefined table. This table has this is what the data. Now if I go and try to write here, let us say str of empty cars, I am writing it. Then run it. Now what you are seeing here, how many observations we have? 32 observations. How many variables we have? So variable is nothing but in our R language or in our statistical language, column name is called as what? Variable. In our statistical language, row is called as what? Observation. In our regular relational databases, whatever we are calling column, that is called as your variable. Whatever we are calling as row, that is called as your observation. Here gender is a categorical variable. We have the two categories only. One is gender is male category, gender is female category. Okay. Now we have that point. The difference between a categorical variable and a continuous variable is that a categorical variable can belong to a limited number of categories. And a continuous variable on the other hand can correspond to an infinite number of values. Some of the examples for categorical variables is gender, blood groups, eye color. As a technically eye colors are also limited only available, sir. Now month names, January, February, March, like that. Week names, those all things are called as categorical variables. Those categorical variables are called as factors. Factor also one of the data type. Factor also one of the data type of our statistical world. It is a statistical data type. Okay, next. Gender vector, we are trying to create it, which has the values called as male, female, again female, male, male. So how many values you taken here? 5 values. We are trying to convert this vector into what? Factor. To convert like that, what is syntax? Factor is the syntax, we have it. So let us go and try to see that help document first. So anything you are about to learn it, always it is best practice to see the help document first. What is the function? Factor. So we are trying to take here factor. Right. We got here factories belongs to what package?
Yes.
Base package. So we can see the usage we have here x is equal to character. So factor accepts what? Characters. And what is this? Levels, labels, then exclude, then ordered, then nmax. And this ordered also we have it. So these are the max things possible whatever we have it. We have to see what you mean by ordered factor also we have to see it. So given one is a factor or not, to know it is dot factor we can write it. Given factor is a ordered factor or not, if you want to see it ordered we can see it. As dot factor, as dot order. This technical work we'll try to see in tomorrow's class. So we learn now introduction. What do you mean by categorical variable? We learned about it. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see how to create the factor and how to work with that. Thank you.